Hi everybody, I'm Terry,
And I'm Angel.
and welcome to our morning chat session.
We are going to talk about eating out today on a whole food, plant-based diet when you're not vegan, so to speak. And so it can be very interesting to try to eat out. A lot of people, eating at home is always the best. It's always the best to eat at home. But a lot of us travel for a living and we want to go out with our friends and we want to be social and all of that kind of stuff. So you don't have to sit in your house to do it. We prefer, and you could have a dinner party and get other people excited about whole food plant-based eating without a lot of added fat and sodium and sugar. Right. You could always do that. I was just thinking maybe we should start like a dinner club. Anyway, whole topic for a whole nother day. But there is ways to eat out. Terry and I often travel long and far to find some interesting things that we want to eat and try. And when we do that, we can be on the road for a long time. And one thing we don't like being is hungry. Right? Exactly. We do not like being hungry. So we'll do a whole other segment on snacking and what to pack when you're going somewhere and all of that kind of stuff. Got all kinds of ideas on that. But today let's focus on really eating out and some of the tools that you can use to be successful. So, and I did write it down. I keep telling you guys I'm not as smart as Terry. I got to write stuff down.
No, she's very smart.
Aww.
She's very smart. She's done a lot of research to really help everyone kind of have a better perspective and broader perspective on how can I maintain a whole food plant-based diet, but when I'm out, how can I enjoy myself and how can I eat out? Angel and I both have, jobs where we're required to entertain clients, customers, and things of that nature. So it's a delicate balance in terms of being able to entertain our clients and customers, but also maintain a healthy whole food plant-based diet. So she's done a lot of research. So I can't wait to kind of share this with you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, sweetheart. And, one thing that's important to me, and while Terry could consume oil and not have an horrible adverse action like hives or not being able to breathe or some allergic reaction like that, I do always consider Terry allergic to oil. And the reason I say he's allergic to oil is because that oil clogs his arteries and can make him sick and could give him a cardiac event. So do I consider Terry allergic to oil? I do, and I feel comfortable, very comfortable, and Terry feels very comfortable saying, does that have oil? Why? Because I'm allergic to it.
Right.
Sometimes restaurants do not want to feed you anything that you are allergic to. And I will tell you that 9 chances out of 10, servers, people, chefs especially, they're very proud of what they do. And when you ask them to accommodate you, they go above and beyond. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. The best tool you can use is the phone.
Right.
Plan ahead, look at the menu, talk to your friends or whoever you're dining with, or if you're planning, look ahead. Make sure there's something for everybody on the menu, but especially yourself when you're whole food plant-based. And what you're looking for, again, not the calories, you're looking for the fat. You're looking for all the hidden added sodium and the animal fat, which is interesting, which will get me into a topic right now about baked potatoes. Because we often think that baked potatoes, I'm going to go there, I'm going to have baked potatoes and broccoli, and I'm going to be set, we're going to be social. Through my research, I found that the reason that a lot of baked potatoes are sometimes so amazing tasting is because they actually dip the baked potatoes in bacon grease. So not only is the baked potato now not healthy for you and has 30, 40 to 50 grams of fat, but it also has animal protein in it. And we don't eat animals. So it's important to know that what your baked potato may or may not be dipped in. So just know that sometimes things that seem like they're okay, like croutons, a lot of times are covered in butter. Where does butter come from? It comes from cows. So you have to be really careful. I remember when we first started whole food plant-based eating, Terry was out with some colleagues, and I had asked him, what'd you have for lunch? Oh my gosh, I had this amazing lunch. Da, 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 da. He told me all about it. I asked him what dressing he had on his salad, and he said honey mustard. So I said, oh, you had honey today? Yeah. And then all of a sudden it dawned on him, oh my gosh, we don't need honey.
Right, exactly.
So, but it was an honest mistake because it was mustard. You were like, honey mustard, perfect. And it didn't have a lot of fat in it. So, you know, it's just little things like that that are hard to think about.
So honey, what should they do? Should they ask if they want a baked potato? Just ask
ahead. If you can call and ask ahead, plan. Every single restaurant you go to will have nutritional information. Unless it's a mom and pop and you're going, then call and ask because they're happy to accommodate you. They're actually more happy to accommodate you. But any restaurant you're going to go to, just type in the restaurant, what you plan on eating, and nutritional information. It will pull up the fat, the sodium, everything that you ever needed or wanted to know. Do all your research ahead of time, and then when you're sitting down and all your friends are looking through the menu or your colleagues, you're already set.
You're already set.
You're good to go.
And if you need
some sparkling water and have a good time.
And a good tip: if you need to try to remember what you want, just text yourself. Send yourself a text.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, send yourself a text. You already have it in writing, so when you're in a restaurant and everyone else is ordering, you kind of already know what you want. And you can be conversational.
See, I said you were smarter than me. I wouldn't think about that. So anyway, I wrote on here that the best thing to do is plan ahead. That's your best tool. Plan ahead, call, use the internet, look at the menus, see if you can do the planning for the team. Most people are very accommodating. Read menu nutritional information ahead of time. If they don't have it, ask. And don't be embarrassed to ask. People are really, really, really nice about this stuff. Like I said, call ahead to restaurants and order things a la carte. A lot of times, things that say they're vegan are very dangerous. They are full of fat. They are full of sodium. We do not order things. It actually scares me when I see that something's vegan. I'd rather order a meal that is not plant-based and just tell them to take the chicken off than to take the chicken, cheese, and croutons off than to order something vegan. Those things that are vegan are loaded with fat, saturated fat, just all kinds of stuff. And yes, they are vegan, but they're not whole food plant-based. So they're not healthy for you. I told you about the baked potatoes because that's really, really important, that they can be packed in bacon grease. Beans and rice are a great option when you're out. A lot of beans and rice are packed in oil. And the reason is because they don't want the rice to clump together. And so they drizzle a little oil in it and it keeps it nice and loose and fluffy. And oil. They add oil to beans because they think it's tasty. So that's what they do. Just ask. So I wanted to give one place that Terry and I used to eat a lot is because they have a lot of fish and seafood options, and Terry knows a lot about Red Lobster, and so he knows that their fish is fresh, it's not frozen, and so we really like that fresh option.
Absolutely.
The baked potato at Red Lobster is 310 calories, 11 grams of fat, and 980 milligrams of sodium. I used to love the baked potato at Red Lobster because I wouldn't eat the skin. But
they smother it in butter, or what they call it's their own recipe, if you will, of a coating of butter, and they also put a lot of salt. Now you can order a plain baked potato, but like Angel said, you really have to educate yourself and really have to just ask.
Yes, absolutely. And that's where you call ahead and just say, hey, when you're making your potatoes today, because sometimes they do make them ahead of time and they don't have the 40 or 50 minutes it takes to make another potato. It's not that they don't want to. I'm going to be dining with you today. When you're making your potatoes, could you steam one for me or two for me today? So they're so accommodating. They'll make you so many steamed veggies. They'll make you veggies any way you want them. You don't have to take them to order. Hey, could you just steam my veggies? They will always tell you they're not going to taste as good. And you can say, I know.
Right, you're absolutely right.
Because to us, they do taste
exactly.
good. Because we taste food now, not like before. So when people do tell you at restaurants, though, it's not going to taste as good. And you just agree with them. Tell them that you know that. But think to yourself, yes, it is going to be delicious. So steamed options are the best options to look for. If you're looking at a menu, you're looking for steamed, grilled, or baked. Steamed is always the best because they'll usually add the fat at the end. So you can just say, no fat, I'm allergic to oil, I don't eat butter, those types of things. I'm whole food plant-based, so you definitely don't eat butter. Right. Grilled is always good. Ask them to grill it without the oil in the grill. Terry and I have a couple particular restaurants that we go to where we order black bean burgers. We order things that they put on the grill for us, and we always tell them, no oil on the grill, just put it on the grill. No problem. They never give us any problem, though, ever.
They're service oriented, and a lot of restaurants are service oriented, and that's what they're there. They're there to serve you and try to make sure that they're providing the best service, and food obviously is their main the main entree. So they're very accommodating. You haven't had any issues at all?
No, none. And baked would be your last option. You got to be really careful with the baked option because while it's not fried, it's already all mixed together, all the ingredients, and they put it in the oven and bake it. So you have to ask. Right. One of the places that we do like is the pita pits. I don't know, depending on where you're at in the nation, if you have a pita pit or not. The pita pit is delicious. There's one right around the corner from where Terry works, and when he has forgotten his lunch or forgotten his little toolkit to keep him healthy, satisfied, he'll run down to the pita pit. The pitas themselves, no matter if you get the white or the wheat, and they're huge. I'm talking about the big pita, not the little pita. Terry and I don't eat mini anything. Right. So the big pita is 180 calories with 1 gram of fat. So that's fine. And then the black bean burger is 110 calories with 3 grams of fat. So if you get the black bean burger, fill that pita. They have so many fresh vegetables there.
Oh my gosh.
And you have that pita that's kind of chewy and pliable, and you got your black bean burger in there. And I mean, this thing is humongous when it's done.
It is.
So one thing you got to be careful with though is because the tempting part is the hummus and the falafels. Hummus out is loaded with fat. I mean, the lightest one I've ever seen in all the research that I've done is about 7 grams of fat. They go all the way up into the 30s and 40s. Hummus has got a lot of fat in it because the base of it is olive oil. And the people making the hummus think that the more olive oil you put on it, the yummier it is. So you got to be really, really careful when choosing a hummus option. If you're going to have a little spread of hummus and that's your treat for the day, by all means, have your little spread of hummus, but just know that you're getting quite a bit of fat in there. So just tell them, hey, light hummus. You don't have to not have it, but just be conscious that I know that has at least 10 grams of fat in a little tiny bit. The falafel, I love falafels. They're vegan. They are fried. Falafels are fried. Any falafel is on average 300 to 350 calories and about 35 grams of fat. Wow. So they are deep fried, so be really careful. Mediterranean options are always great. Greek restaurants are wonderful for people that eat whole food plant-based. But you have to be careful because a lot of the things have oil. I will have to ask people at the Mediterranean restaurants that we go to, please don't put extra oil on my pitas because they make the pitas homemade. You have to tell them don't put extra. You already know there's a little bit of oil in the pita itself, but it's okay. And they say, okay, no problem. They make the pita. The hummus has a lot of fat in it. They love their olive oil. And the falafels are very, very high in fat. You could ask them to bake the falafels. Sometimes they will, and then you have to ask them if they were pre-fried. So stuff like that is really important. So another place that we love going, and that I think is more regional for everybody, would be some of the Mexican restaurants. So the fast in and out, go through the line, order what you want, and then do it that way. So Moe's Southwest Grill, Qdoba, and Chipotle. So if I were to stack rank Moe's, Qdoba, and Chipotle, I would stack rank them just that way as far as fat and oil and sodium. So I would say Moe's first, Qdoba second, and Chipotle third. And so with the Moe's, they have two kinds of rice. They have seasoned rice, which can make you think that that's scary because it tastes really good. And then the cilantro lime rice. The seasoned rice is 150 calories with 1 gram of fat. And the cilantro lime rice is 169 calories with 3 grams of fat.
Okay.
So you're thinking to yourself, that's white. The rice looks very clean. It's got cilantro in it and lime. It has a lot of fat because they don't want it to clump together. So you're better off with the seasoned rice at Moe's. They also have a quinoa option. While it has 84 calories, so half the calories as the other two, it has 2 grams of fat. So your best choice as far as whole food plant-based fat is the seasoned rice. And then black beans or pinto beans always come in around 120, 130 calories no matter where you go, with 1 to 2 grams of fat depending on. So at Moe's, Terry and I usually get the bowl, the seasoned rice, we usually get black beans, and a lot of times Terry will get the mixed pinto and black. You could do that as well. And then there is loads of veggies that we just load it. And then I usually can't finish it, and I'm a pretty good eater.
I usually finish what she can't finish.
Yeah, we eat them both, and the sauces are great. Now there is sodium. There is sodium in this stuff, but again, it's a treat. You're eating out. We're not going there every day.
Right.
So at Qdoba, they have a brown rice option. So they have a white rice and a brown rice. The white rice has 190 calories, 3 grams of fat. The brown rice is 170 calories, 1 gram of fat. So obviously, if I were going to choose, I would like the brown rice because of the fat. And they have the black beans and the pinto beans, just like I told you earlier, both with 1 gram of fat. So if you had the brown rice with the beans and a bunch of veggies, you're looking at 300 calories and a couple grams of fat.
Right.
So that's what you're looking at. And then Chipotle, do not, and I repeat, do not get the cilantro lime rice. It has 7 grams of fat.
Wow.
Why would you do that?
Wow.
Why?
Why would you think that would have 7
Why
grams
would you
of fat?
think that?
Wow.
That's why I said that I would stack rank them 3. However, their brown rice is 140 calories with 1 gram of fat. So get the brown rice. The beans are the same, 120 to 130, 140 calories. Who cares? 1 gram of fat. So you're looking at 300 calories, 280 to 300 with 2 grams of fat.
Right.
But do not touch that cilantro lime rice at Chipotle because it does have 7 grams of fat, which is astonishing. And who would think that?
Right.
Who would think that cilantro lime rice would have that?
Right.
Even though I always thought it was bad with 3 grams at Moe's,
Right.
at Chipotle it's 7.
Wow.
So that's added oil. That's not coming from the rice, people. That's coming from the oil.
And the good thing is that all this information is readily available. So Angel did our research, and all this information is readily available. So you can access it anywhere. So if you don't have a Moe's or a Chipotle or any other the restaurants that we're talking about, you can just look at your regional restaurants and you can do your own research and still come up with the best options for you.
Absolutely. So we usually try to hit it at Moe's, but if we don't and we're stuck somewhere else and we're hungry, we're not going hungry. So that's never an option. But you go for the best option, and I will be on my phone looking at nutritional information, calling people. I don't mess around.
Right.
So Panera bread is something that we like. We can get soup, sandwich, or a salad. So and you can have their bagels too. A lot of bagels are vegan. You just have to be careful because they're like 300 calories on average with 2 grams of fat. So it's not so bad. The thing with bagels that you eat out, they have a load of sodium. So they're not really a great option for Terry.
Right.
So if you get the bagel, dig the inside out if you really want it and enjoy it. But just know that you're going to get a good sodium load for that day.
Right.
But you can have the everything bagel. They have the Stone Mill Rye bagels. They have all kinds of stuff. Don't let the ones that say these are vegan or these are sprouted, don't let them fool you. A lot of times they have more fat. So just look it up. Don't let those things entice you, is what I'm trying to say. We usually get the veggie sandwich because it's a treat. We get the bread double toasted, so it's super crunchy. But we do not get it on the bread that they put it on. We ask them to replace that bread with the whole white whole grain.
Mm-hmm.
The white whole grain bread has 130 calories and only a half a gram of fat.
Mm-hmm.
So the normal bread that they put that on is much higher in fat, and so we don't do that. They do have a hummus that I love, 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 but only 2 ounces of that hummus is 110 calories. That's fine, but it does have 7 grams of fat. So that's why I said it is the lightest in grams of fat I found, but you could opt out of the hummus and ask for mustard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could do all that. I don't opt out of the hummus. I eat it, but I know that I need to be careful. And
I haven't asked for the mustard, and the mustard is fine. It's a great option. Great alternative.
Option. And then I love the 10 vegetable soup there, because then I have a soup and a sandwich, and it's just so hearty and satisfying. The 10 vegetable soup there, the cup is only 60 calories, 1 gram of fat. That's it. And in soup, that's pretty light. Soup has a lot of fat in it. And then the bowl has 100 grams, 2 grams. 100 calories, 2 grams of fat. We always order the apple on the side, so then you have your piece of fruit and you're good to go. That's a really, really great option. They also have fruit cups at Panera. Enjoy the fruit cup if that's what you want. The apple's free. You can pay for the fruit cup. They have all kinds of water, sparkling water. We like Panera.
And it's filling. You get a nice size sandwich and a nice bowl. Sometimes we'll get the full sandwich and a bowl of soup, and it's very filling. If you have your fruit on the side, you've had a nice lunch, and it's very healthy.
It is, and it's good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's so crunchy, the bread.
Yeah.
Terry even started telling him the double toasted
bread, right?
Yeah. So Asian restaurants have a lot of oil, a lot of sodium. Don't even get me started. But if you want to get to the Asian restaurant, the steamed rice actually doesn't have any fat in it. I won't say all, I will go out on a limb and say most Asian restaurants, steamed rice has no fat. You'll know if it has fat because it'll be falling apart like there's no tomorrow. But ask them if it has fat in it. They have steamed broccoli and they have steamed veggie. They have a little place on their menu about this big. They have that jumbo menu. It's about this big, and they call it like diet options or something like that. Go in there, get your steamed rice, get your steamed veggies, and they will give you a ton. And their steamed veggies are cooked perfect.
They are perfect.
I don't know how they do that. They're cooked perfect. So get that and enjoy it. So get from the Asian restaurant. You will get no fat in that meal at all. You'll get very minimal calories, obviously, in the veggies. And the rice, you're looking at 200 to 300 calories. So eat away. Olive Garden is not a big option, but if you want to go have lunch with a friend or something like that, you can actually have the breadsticks. They seem like they're covered in butter, but they're not. So the breadsticks are vegan, even with the garlic stuff that they cover them in. I wouldn't personally eat that. You can ask them for the breadsticks plain. They're more than happy to do it because the garlic topping does have some fat in it. And I wrote it down. I think it's about 2.5 grams of fat. So one of those breadsticks with the garlic topping is 140 calories with 2.5 grams of fat. If you order it without the garlic topping, you're looking at about 100 calories, 1 gram of fat. So have a breadstick or two. What's the big deal? So you can have breadsticks. The pasta you can have that does not have egg in it is angel hair fettuccine, rigatoni, and spaghetti.
Oh, wow.
So you're looking at approximately, I did an approximate calorie, 350 calories, about 3 grams of fat in those pastas that they serve at that restaurant. And the pastas we buy don't have fat, but at that restaurant, the pasta has
and they don't have egg. Wow.
Those ones, the angel hair, the fettuccine, rigatoni, and spaghetti. So you can order that. Order the house salad. Everybody goes to, why would you go to Olive Garden for anything but the salad, especially when you're Italian? But the salad, you want it without the dressing. No croutons. The croutons have butter in them, so it's not good for you. So order the salad, no croutons, no dressing, and you'll have about 70 calories in that whole thing, 1 gram of fat, because you'll have a little bit of fat because of the olives. Eat the olives. I love the olives.
Would you just bring your own dressing, honey? Or?
You could, or you can order. Terry always brings his balsamic with him everywhere he goes because it's in a little thing, and he just carries it around, and that's fine. And nobody gets offended. Why does this guy have his own balsamic? Don't worry about stuff like that. But if you forget, like I do, order a vinegar, just a straight up vinegar,
Okay.
or you can get lemons or limes. They always have lemons and limes at the bar, and you could squeeze those over your salad as well. Or you could be like our son Anthony, who eats salad plain. I don't know how. I mean, that'd be awesome. But enjoy the salad. The marinara sauce, you need to be really careful at Olive Garden if you do choose a pasta option. Has 190 calories, which is fine, but it does have 10 grams of fat in the marinara sauce. So they're making it with a lot of olive oil. They do have a tomato sauce that you can ask for. It's on the kids menu usually, but you can ask for that. It has 80 calories and only 5 grams of fat. So you get the fat, but you could have the tomato. If you really wanted pasta and bread and salad, you could go and have that and it wouldn't be that much. They also, and this is so exciting, I love minestrone soup, but minestrone soup may appear to be vegetarian, vegan, and all that, but a lot of times it is made with an animal-based broth. So be very, very careful, because I ask all the little pizza restaurants all the time, and they are all made usually with some kind of animal-based broth. However, a couple of years ago, Olive Garden did change, and their minestrone soup is vegan.
Oh, wow.
Thank you!
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
you can have the minestrone soup for 110 calories, 1 gram of fat. So not only is it vegan, they're not adding a lot of fat and oil to it. So you can have salad, bread, and minestrone soup for very little fat, calories, and all that. I mean, it's just incredible. Just be more creative around what you would do with your dressing. Vinaigrettes are dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Vinaigrettes. I got a little pack of vinaigrette the other day, because I wanted to go out on a limb, and as long as Terry's not eating it, I'm good. Little tiny package, and that little tiny package of vinaigrette, which was just a couple tablespoons, I'm assuming, had 20 grams of fat.
20 grams.
20 grams. Oh my God. So be careful with the vinaigrette. So I got the Asian, I got the Olive Garden, which I think is really important. Subway. All right, Subway. You can stop by there. You can get a Veggie Delight sandwich or salad. The Veggie Delight, oh, and I got something for you. You guys are going to be super stoked. So the Veggie Delight sandwich, if you want something on the bread to not just have veggies, but you want something, some kind of sauce, you could have red wine vinegar, which has nothing in it. Guzzle the red wine vinegar. The vinaigrette has 3.5 grams of fat in it. So you only have 30 calories, but 3.5 grams of fat in the vinaigrette. So again, the red wine vinegar, no fat. You can get yellow mustard, deli mustard. The calories are untraceable.
No honey mustard?
No honey mustard, honey. No honey mustard. The mustards have no fat in them. However, the sweet onion sauce at Subway is good. It's sweet. It only has 30 calories. 0 fat. 0 fat.
Wow.
Yes, in the sweet onion sauce. You could get a bread. The best breads to get are the wheat or the Italian. The wheat, and I'm talking about the 6-inch, not the baby, the mini that they do now, but the 6-inch wheat has 1.5 gram of fat, and the 6-inch Italian has 2. So if you want Italian, have the Italian. You could get the sweet onion sauce, and they got veggies galore, peppers and cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, spinach, onions, all kinds of stuff. Pepper for my sweetie, he loves his black pepper. But you could have that on bread. I mean, that's so hearty. What a treat, right? So that's what I would get at Subway. You can also get the Veggie Delight salad, and just know that they have all those veggies and all that. Red wine vinegars. I'm super excited about the sweet onion sauce.
Yeah, me too.
So that's cool. If you want something sweet or you want that extra kick, right? You could do that. We also have a local convenient store called Wawa. I don't know where you're at, but we do have a Wawa. So it could be other things for other people, 7-Eleven, whatever. But this Wawa actually has a deli in it and all of
Turkey
that
Hill. Sometimes Turkey Hill will have a deli. What's the Cumberland Farms? They might have a deli. Royal Farms, they might have a deli. Just kind of all depends.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that Wawa is the same as like a 7-Eleven or a Circle K or something like that.
No.
Or even a Sheetz, because Sheetz fries a lot of their food.
Right.
Yeah. So anyhow.
Yeah, I don't know if the Sheetz, do they sell salads? I don't know if they sell salads.
I don't know if they do or not. I don't know. I just usually, okay.
Or vegetables, but.
So at Wawa, they do have bagels. Again, it's the same thing as Panera. You can get the bagel knowing that you're going to get 1 or 2 grams of fat. You will get a lot of fiber and protein and all of that, and you're looking at about 300 calories. So go for the bagels. Always don't choose the egg bagel, though. You probably don't want to get the egg bagel. The plain bagel is the same way. The plain bagel does have the least fat, 1 gram. The biggest thing with bagels is not the calories and fat, it's the sodium. So it is the sodium in bagels that are made out, and that's why they're so good. They have a little bunker there at Wawa where they have little snacks. They have little packs of apples. They have fresh fruit, and that's all they are is fruit, apples. They have carrot sticks. You can grab that stuff on the go when you're really hungry and you're ready to eat your leg. You can get that kind of stuff. They have small fruits and large fruits and all that kind of stuff. Get the big one. Get a couple. I mean, who cares? They have mango, pineapple, watermelon. I mean, it all has no fat and very little calories, probably like 100. They have bean bowls that we really, really like. And here's where I would be really kind of careful because their black beans do have canola oil in them. Through my research, I've seen that and I wondered, man, these taste kind of good. They probably have oil in them. So the best non-fat option for the bowls at Wawa would be the rice, and they have quinoa that has no fat in it. However, instead of just getting all beans now, because the bean bowl by itself would be 6 grams of fat, so usually stay away from that. I go with the rice and beans because it gives you the 3 grams of fat because you're having half the rice. It's only 280 calories at the end of the day, and then it has a lot of fiber and protein. And you can add some veggies to it. There's a rice and quinoa bowl, again, maybe 250 calories, no fat. So you can get rice and quinoa if you wanted to, or just rice, or just quinoa. I mean, it doesn't matter. I like a little bit of the beans because they're creamy and all that. I know I'm getting 3 grams of fat, but I don't get the whole bowl of beans.
Right, and it's not like you're eating it every day. Again,
No,
this is just once in a while type.
Exactly, when we got to run through and get something. Right. They have romaine and spinach bowls, which have almost untraceable calories, no fat, and they have so many veggies. So they do have a spicy veggie Beyond bowl. I would not eat that Beyond Meat. I wouldn't touch it. Yeah. The fat in that Beyond Meat ranges anywhere from 15 to 20 calories up to, 15 to 20 grams of fat, all the way up to something ridiculous. That Beyond Meat is not good for you. It's vegan. It is not whole food plant-based. It has sodium. It has fat. It has saturated fat. It has everything you never wanted to eat. Go eating cotton candy.
So is it less healthy than probably a normal burger?
I don't, well, I mean, because then you're eating animal protein, so I don't even know if I can compare the two. Right. But we don't eat that Beyond Meat just because of the fat and saturated fat and all.
I guess my point is, so now you have a man-made substitute for something that's animal, and it's at least not as, first of all, we know it's not as healthy, and maybe even more unhealthy than animal protein or burgers.
Which is why we don't eat a lot of tofu. When we do eat tofu, we eat the silken tofu. It has the lowest fat, and it is creamy. So when we do eat tofu every once in a while, we'll eat the silken one, but the other ones we don't. I will tell you that one day we were at Wawa, and I was craving potatoes. And they had mashed potatoes, and so we asked her, what's in it? She said, nothing, it's just potatoes, they're just mashed. And I was like, are you serious? So we got the potatoes, we got out to the car, and 1 spoonful, and my tongue was coated. And I can't tell you the last time I felt something like that. So I was not being ladylike. And I was all on these napkins, and Terry was like, what's wrong? Because I think he thought I was actually choking, and he was going to have to do the Heimlich. But I was trying to get that stuff off my tongue, and I said, there's something in these potatoes. She said, there's none. But I taste butter. And it was so prevalent because I don't eat like that. So I quickly came home and looked it up, and not only do they have butter in them, but they have milk in them. Their sweet potatoes have eggs, butter, canola oil, and a ton of sugar. So if you go to Wawa and you want the potatoes without anything in them, you're going to be getting a real treat because they got lots of stuff in them. So do not eat stuff like that. Again, you have to ask. I did ask, but
sometimes you might get the right information.
But sometimes you might not get the
Just
right
better
information.
do your own research and try to
it is
plan ahead.
Much better They also have garden salads, always minus the croutons and cheese. Obviously, the croutons, 9 chances out of 10 have butter in them. You've got to ask. Croutons are not your friend, but the garden salad is like 40 calories or so and no fat without that stuff. You can build your own sandwich on like a marble rye. I did one for you just as an example. Marble rye with all kinds of veggies, yellow mustard. You're getting 200 calories and no fat and a ton of protein.
Wow.
So go there, get your marble rye sandwich and be yummy, yummy, yummy. So those were some of the Wawa options. Lots of bowls. They also have romaine and spinach bowls there that you can add stuff to. Again, they have hummus there too. It's high in fat, so just be careful. Just be careful with what you do. They do have a pico that you can get that's really, really good. If you want to run into your local grocery store because you just feel like I'm not going to make it home, I'm starving. That's me half the time. I always think I'm starving. You could grab hearts of palm, and you can eat them either out of the can or out of the jar, or it's better if you rinse them because they have a lot of sodium, but just eat the hearts of palm. Whole fruit, apples, bananas, grapes, pears, plums. I guess if you're on the run, the less dirty fruit like bananas that you peel is better, but you probably always have a bottle of water with you so what? Wash it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can do that. Baby carrots and celery are always available. They always have fresh cut options in the grocery store, in the veggie aisle. I love Wassa crackers, so if I'm just like, I'm starving and I need to crunch, I will eat Wassa crackers. Do not buy popcorn in a bag. It has more fat in it than Doritos.
Wow.
So it's just, be careful, especially the ones that tell you that they're healthy and they don't have any GMOs. It'll blow your mind. Look at the fat content. You will not believe what air-popped popcorn is like in a bag. Wassa crackers, no salt pretzels. They're delicious. I think we buy the Snyder's no salt pretzels. Before
I think 0.5
COVID,
grams of fat.
not like nothing, and it really has no sodium.
No sodium.
The salad bar, before COVID, there was salad bars there. Just get a whole bunch of stuff out of there and put some vinegar on it, and you're good to go. I don't know if that'll come back. Be really careful with your veggie chips, your roasted chickpeas, and granola. Granola. I love granola. Who likes granola more than me? Oh my gosh. Granola in the store, you can't find it. I've looked in every store from here to I don't know how many states, and you can't find it. It is loaded with fat. Oh my gosh, so please do not buy prepackaged granola, but I'm going to show you one day how to make yummy granola without fat.
It is yummy. Oh my God,
it's so good. And when I don't make it too much of because I eat it all. And then the chickpeas are no good. Make them at home. Veggie chips, like I said, and the popcorn. But all that stuff I just said, you can make it at home with 0 fat. So if you want to run into there's no difference running into your local convenience store that doesn't have the options that you need as to running into your local grocery store and has all these options. So if you're looking for something quick, these are the things that you can do. I think those were the things. Oh my gosh, how could I miss this? Starbucks.
Yes.
So Starbucks has an oatmeal that I've asked them. It's not obnoxious, and they were happy to tell me that they make their oatmeal with water. So they have oatmeals, and when they give you blueberries, they're fresh. They're not those dried blueberries.
We were blown away. Fresh blueberries.
So good. And then the things that they give you on the sides, like the nut and all that, it's all on the sides, so you don't have to put it on there. I get the oats. I put the blueberries on. Oh my gosh, I'm so satisfied. You're getting 120 calories in that. I mean, you can't go wrong. You're getting a little smidge, maybe 1 or so grams of fat because of the oats.
Did they give us something to sweeten it too?
Yeah, they give you the guava if you want. They'll give you, it's just a little tiny thing. You can sweeten it with that. It's no big deal. And then they do give you a little thing of nuts. And we don't eat nuts just because of the fat content for Terry, but you could do that.
That was a pleasant surprise.
That was very, because the other things at Starbucks that are vegan, I'm going to ask you kindly not to engage in that. So they have an Impossible breakfast sandwich. While it has Impossible meat on it, it has eggs and cheese on it. So it's not vegan at all. It's definitely not whole food plant-based because it has Impossible meat on it. So the only thing impossible about that sandwich is that it's not vegan, it's not vegetarian. It's got eggs and cheese on it, but the breakfast sausage It's no good. But I will tell you that Impossible breakfast sandwich, if you did want to indulge in it, has 420 calories with whopping 22 grams of fat and 8 grams of saturated fat and 800 milligrams of sodium.
Wow.
Yeah.
The sodium and the fat content is incredible.
Yeah, so but that is not vegan or vegetarian,
Right.
but I guess because it doesn't have the sausage on it, but that's okay. So, and then they have a sprouted grain bagel, which is actually vegan, but again, I said be careful with the sprouted grains because you're looking at 330 calories, 6 grams of fat. So be careful because those words sprouted and no GMOs and
the buzzwords that make you think that
it makes you feel
feel like it's healthy.
For me. Yes, and so one thing that they just gotten, and I was very excited when I saw it a couple months ago, was this chickpea bites and avocado protein box. I was like, yes, go whole food plant-based. So then I picked it up, and I was in the line, and everybody was looking at me. Terry, look at this, look at this. So calories, 560 calories, fat, 37 grams of fat. 37 grams of fat. I would never give that to my husband. I love him too much. Don't make me mad. 37 grams saturated fat, 5 and 710 milligrams of sodium. But what got me about this, because it's chickpea bites and it's avocado and it's a protein box, and this is perfect, but it's not the 560 calories that scares me. It's that 37 grams of fat that really gets me. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is Wendy's. Their plain baked potato is a plain baked potato.
Right.
We do run through the Wendy's and get a plain baked potato. That is it. It is steamed. It is a potato. They take it out of the bag. They steam it. They do nothing to
That's
it.
it, yeah.
It is perfect. It's 270 calories, no fat. None. Zero. And the protein and the fiber in that is very high. You can also get apple bites at Wendy's, which are 35 calories, no fat. They're apples cut up for you already. You could get a side salad. You could also get the light Asian chili vinaigrette, but you got to be careful because it does have fat in it. You'd have to order any salad with no cheese, no croutons, no meat. You could get any salad you wanted there, but you'd have to order it without that protein, the animal protein, and croutons, cheese, and all of that. But you could actually have a side salad with the apples, okay, top it with the apple bites. You can get a baked potato. They have a salsa there. You can put the sauce on it. And now you have a salad with apples, and it's crunchy, and you're eating your potato.
Right.
And it's yummy.
And it's healthy.
I mean, so you can run through the Wendy's and just that quick have something to fill you up, because the worst feeling is that hungry. I hate being hungry. I just am not a good hungry person.
Right.
And the fries at any fast food restaurant are all vegan, so yay. But they are loaded in fat. And so just the fries at Wendy's is the only one I did because I didn't want to spend a lot of time talking about fries because it's not important. But they're 420 calories with 21 grams of fat and 4 grams of saturated fat. So can you eat fries as a vegan? Yeah. But a whole food plant-based person that is SOS, salt, oil, and sugar-free, does not eat 21 grams of protein in 21 grams of fat in a small fry.
Right.
It's just not important. But do get your potato and your side salad. And anyway, I hope that this helped you. I wanted to give you options of things that you could do or things you could think about. Your best thing is to call ahead. Any restaurant that you want to sit down and eat at, they have so many options for you. They will steam stuff for you all day long.
So accommodating.
They are so kind. You can have rice and you can have beans. Most chances those people have quinoa. You can add the quinoa to your salad because now you're adding a protein. They always have fresh fruit. Ask them to cut it up. If your friends are having chips and salsa, I always say, could you bring me celery sticks? And they're like, oh, sure. Yeah. They always have celery because they usually have a bar where they make tomato Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary's right.
So they always have celery. You could ask for carrots if they don't have them. And then we dip it in the salsa, and now we have chips and salsa too, and our celery is just as crunchy as their chips.
Exactly.
There's so many things you can do. There's lots of options. I hope this helped. We're gonna have a snack discussion one morning soon.
Exactly.
But anyway,
honey, thank you so much for doing all this research. Angel spent a lot of time because we want to help you, and she wants to help you. And I actually learned a lot today myself, so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate everything you've done to just try to bring all this together. And the underlying theme is there are a lot of healthy options if you're out and you get hungry and you want to eat something, but based on your research, there's a lot of unhealthy options, especially as it relates to fat and sodium. So you just want to be careful and plan ahead, and again, do your own research, independent, and just make informed decisions about eating whole food, plant-based. Right, exactly. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Hey, look, we love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Have a great day.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks.